Hello everybody, I'm going to give you the instructions for your upcoming perspective drawing. We're going to make a 1-point perspective drawing based on the paintings and drawings of the Italian Renaissance. As you know from chapter 21, this is the time when linear perspective was either invented or rediscovered by Brunelleschi and then used by almost every single artist afterwards, including us now. So this is what 1-point perspective looks like. Some of you have probably done this before. I've seen perspective drawings around the art building. And in general, you start with a shape, you connect the corners to the vanishing point, and then you cut them off at some point in the back. The vanishing point is the point that is on the horizon line. The horizon is the furthest place your eye can see. So a typical 1-point perspective drawing would start like this, and then this would become possibly a street, and then these would become buildings. But we are just going to make one Italian piazza, which in a way is much easier. This is what you would do if you were just drawing a room, but for us, we're going to have inside and outside elements happening. So the requirements are that you use 1-point perspective. I'm going to show you how. You should have lines on the floors, which make it look like a piazza, like Perugino's giving it the keys to St. Peter's. You should have arches, a horizon line. You can see the horizon here and here. Details, and a little bit of shading. If you're not familiar with shading, you're just going to color in, where the light is not hitting something. You'll pick a light source and go with it with your drawing. All right, so let me get to this camera here. Hopefully we'll be able to see my drawing. Sorry about that. All right, so what you're going to do is start with your horizon line and then put a vanishing point on it. Mine is in the middle of the page. It does not have to be, but it seems to be a little easier if you set it up this way. And then go ahead and draw a smallish rectangle or square around it. You can get it wider, smaller. Don't make it too big, otherwise you'll be like right up on it. This is going to be the back wall of the piazza, so don't make it super big. All right, so you're going to do the horizon line, and you can pause this and do yours. So there's my horizon line, there's my vanishing point, and then I'm going to connect the corners to the vanishing point, and so are you. There are hundreds of videos on how to draw in perspective. If you find mine to be lacking. All right, so now I have the back of the piazza. You can see it's like we're looking into a room. I drew mine very light. I'm just gonna leave that there for now and see if if I make arches, you might see it through anyway. So that's the basic setup, but now you need arches and then you need details. So whatever you want to put in your piazza. Oh, you need lines on the floor too. So what I would do is, you have this line here. You could measure if you want. I'm just going to eyeball it. And then I'm going to connect each of those to the vanishing point and bring them forward. So this is going to be the piazza floor. You see Perugino had these all over his paintings. Raphael did it. So we're working in good company, these Renaissance artists. Make sure you hold your ruler onto the vanishing point. Don't forget to use that, otherwise they won't all go back in space the same way or systematically. Ghost of Brunelleschi will haunt you. All right, so that's on the floor, and then to make them look like squares in space, you're just going to make horizontal lines now. So what you should do ideally is space them out more as you come forward, because things that go back in space get smaller, squishier, and less detail. If you have trouble making straight lines, you can use your, if you can see this, this is the edge of the page. Just line your ruler up at the edge of the page, and then this will make like a 90-degree line. All right, so that's the bottom. So that's check. I have a piazza. I have the lines on the floor. I need arches. So what I'm going to do is make a line here. I'm going to kind of eyeball it so that they start at the same place over here. Make sure you're using your vanishing point. So that's going to be the top of my arches. That way my arches don't go all the way up. You're certainly welcome to make them go all the way up. Now I'm going to sort of box them in. Let's see, I'll leave a little bit here. This is the neatest way to do it anyway. So I'm making like almost like doorways. So there's with little like columns in between. I might even make these into columns. Again, I'm making the space look a little bit bigger as I move forward. I'm not going to do, I'll just do this side for you. I know my videos can get very long. Whoops, that one is not straight. All right, so now I have the sides of the arches. Now I just need to connect it here. So I'm going to eyeball the center here, and then I'm just going to connect the arches. Kind of winging it. All right, and then since I need to see inside the arches, right, so then I would shade this too. I don't have my shading pencil with me. Forgive me for using a mechanical pencil. All right, so there's the inside of my arch, and then I could get rid of all this extra stuff here. And then I keep doing that for all these. So there's 3 arches, the tiles on the floor for the piazza. Round things have their own ways of going back in space. Take art, you know that. Things that have corners, those are the things that you can use in perspective. If something is a circle, oh, I know what I did. This has to go straight. I have to connect that little corner there. Otherwise it looks like it's part of the wall. Arches, and then you can do whatever you want. You could put something in the middle if you want to make a drawing. If you're good at people or something like that, you can have people like in the center doing stuff. Or you can just do like a fountain. We have Charles Sluter's Fountain of Life, the Fond de Vitae, if you want to do that. So go ahead and put some details in here. You can go ahead and put things, you could do arches on this side as well. You can do a big window here or another big arch here in the middle. It's a big giant doorway so they can walk out and enjoy their terrace. If you want to put a roof on it, you can, but a lot of piazzas are open, so you don't really need a roof up here. I'm going to draw some clouds in there. That's fine. If you do something else in the sky, that's fine as well. I would even put maybe a walkway on the outside here that you can see through the doorways. Let me do a little fountain here and then You can do this on your own. So I'm gonna still gonna use the vanishing point. This is the front of a box. Hopefully you have a better eraser than I have right now. I'm going to put another box here. It's going to be like a box on a box on a box, like a wedding cake or something. So any shape you draw, when you draw a vertical line, then you have to connect the corners to the vanishing point. Then one more. I'm hurrying so you don't have to keep watching this video. All right, so some kind of fountain, and then I might put a statue or something, maybe a tree. Something like that. So be creative. I'm just rushing to get this done. So now I have details, I have arches, I have the floor, I have a horizon line. But I keep going. I've finished this arch, maybe more arches over here or something else. Maybe I'll make like an extended terrace over here with something going on. Just to get you to play with perspective. If you have before, then this should be pretty easier. This is actually easier than the one where you start and it goes back. Coming forward, everything just connects to something you already have there. All right, so this PowerPoint is on. Your directions are on your Blackboard, so you can go ahead and refer to this to show what you need. And then these are some good examples, or if you probably Google this whole thing, linear perspective. These are out there, like people do these. Teachers assign this all the time. So there's many versions, all right? So there's a better fountain than mine right there. So go ahead and experiment with it. It's really just supposed to be a learning experiment. I'm not really grading you on your skills, but this should be relatively easy since it's all linear, done with lines. All right, as always, email if you have any questions. Thanks.